here this morning, my friends, as an unlikely group with leaders from across the political spectrum who've come together with cultural leaders, artists, academics, athletes, labor activists, and Indigenous militant activists. We represent the incredible regions of our beautiful country, and we are here for one reason. Our nation, our beloved Canada, is under threat. It is an economic threat, but it's also a threat to our values of decency and inclusion. It's a threat to our sovereignty and our very future as a nation. The threat comes, of course, from the President of the United States, a convicted felon and known predator. He's threatening massive tariffs to try and break us as a people. But the threat is also being driven by the hate algorithms of the oligarchs like Elon Musk. And there is the threat from people in our own country who would sell out our birthright to appease the gangster class from Mar-a-Lago. That is not going to happen. This morning, we launched the Pledge for Canada. We have signatories from across the cultural and political spectrum. We are asking Canadians to join and sign on today. It's a plan of resistance supporting a vision of our nation and what it should be and what it is that will not be traded away by appeasement.
Good morning, y'all. It's Coffee back at it. And man, Trump has had a very eventful presidency thus far, man. The one plane crash, how crazy is that there was back-to-back crashes like that? Thoughts, prayers, RIP out to all those people. I can't believe that, man. The DC one and then Philly just a day or two later. What are the odds of that? I don't know. Someone, with a mathematician vibes going on. Drop it in the comments and everyone your thoughts about this, right? But Trump was catching a lot of heat for politicizing DEI hiring and stuff like that with the FAA, and there's been all these debates going on back and forth about that. And you see here a member of Canadian Parliament, Charlie Angus, is talking almost like he's ready for war, man, with Trump. You know what I mean? Did you hear him talking about Elon, the hate algorithms? There's a lot of people saying, right after the assassination attempt on Trump, Elon Musk went full-blown Trump guy, right? I don't really know what his political, support was like before that, you know what I mean? But he just went all out rocking with Trump and owning Twitter. He was, some say, teetering algorithms in Trump's favor. I don't know if that's true or not, but there was people saying that should have been considered election interference. Is that so? Do you believe so? Your thoughts about that? Let's talk about it, right? But man, the Canadian member of Parliament there, Charlie Angus, he says hate algorithms, and he said this all comes down to these tariffs is what I'm seeing, right? Charlie Angus, a member of Canada's Parliament, suggested his country put tariffs on Elon Musk's douche panzer should Trump follow through on his plans. And there's quoting in these reports here, that speech that you just heard. Other parts I don't think that I included. That was just a brief clip, but he's threatening massive tariffs to try and break us as people, but the threat is also being driven by the hate algorithms of oligarchs like Elon Musk, a member of the left-leaning New Democratic Party who serves in the Canadian Parliament, that Angus, right? These tariffs, President Donald Trump plans to put in place 25% tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico and 10% tariffs on goods from China. Now, I got to hear from all the, political people that follow all this type of news. Politics ain't my thing, but I like talking about all different topics with everyone. So please subscribe to the channel, join the discussion. There's something else I didn't mention. All the stuff going down at the border, with the deportations and stuff like that. There's reports that the cartels are ready for war, right? That they're planting explosives near the border and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's crazy, man. So Trump getting into it with some cartel wars, and Canada is unhappy about these tariffs. They're ready for war. They're basically saying Trump is waging war on them to break them as a people financially, but also, what do you say, decency, and that there's Canadians that will sell out, and Trump's nothing more than a felon and a convicted felon and a predator, and he's trying to lead this resistance against it all. I was thinking, right? A few weeks ago there was a big clip. I didn't see a lot of people talk about it. Another member of parliament, I think her name is Elizabeth May. Did you guys see this one? She just goes in on Trump after Trump made a statement about the great.
I was with Wayne Gretzky. I said, Wayne, would you like to be the governor of Canada? I can't imagine anybody doing any better than Wayne. Wayne was not too interested, but I think he probably would have liked statehood. He's a friend of mine. He's a great guy. He's the great one. We call him the great one, right? He's a great hockey player.
So no, sorry. And I really also take offense, sorry, Mr. Trump, took offense to your idea that Pierre Poilievre wasn't good enough to lead the Conservatives. Wayne Gretzky, I mean, he's great. He is the great one. He skates to where the puck is going. It's not going to MAGA. The puck is on a Canadian ice rink. And by the way, Mr. Trump, please, before making public pronouncements that Wayne Gretzky should run for prime minister, give yourself or get yourself a briefing on the nature of parliamentary democracy, a Westminster parliamentary system, and a constitutional monarchy where no one runs for prime minister. We have elections for members of parliament. We don't get to pick and choose among our billionaire friends for who gets a seat at the cabinet table. If they're not an elected member of parliament, well, Canadian system is different from that of the United States of America. I suggest that Mr. Trump find one of his grandchildren's school books and look at the year 1776, which may explain a few things to him about why our systems of government are different. I don't want to belittle Mr. Trump, but on the other hand, hey, Donald, have we got a deal for you? You think we want to be the 51st state? Nah, but maybe California would like to be the 11th province. How about it? California, Oregon, Washington, you've got geography in common with us. Not only that, we've already got a carbon trading system between California and Quebec. We've got some strong alliances on our west coast from British Columbia. There's been a lot of academic papers on the idea of Cascadia. So California, Governor Newsom, and Washington State, Jay Inslee, and newly elected Governor of Oregon, Tina Kotek. How about it? Want to put a referendum to your citizens? Because this is what you deal. Have we got a deal for you? This is what you get. Free health care. Universal free health care. No more one-year-olds who suddenly fall off the Medicaid list and their parents are in the news because they're trying to do a GoFundMe so they can get their daughter to a doctor. Universal free health care. And guess what? Those gun laws that your Congress is too afraid to pass because of the national gun lobby, we already got our strict gun laws. That's why we have the safest streets around the world, or at least in the United States, by the way, the most recent stats, 5.9 out of every 100,000 people is killed in a fatal gun incident versus 0.88 per 100,000 in Canada. That's because we have strict gun laws. California citizens, Oregon, Washington, safer streets. Here we already have good gun laws, and women have a right to an abortion under our universal health care system. But, we don't have to stop there. Donald, think about it. You could get rid of all these states that always vote Democrat. You know what else will take Bernie Sanders off your hands? Proud new Canadian citizen of the great province of Vermont. Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. We'd love to see you. Our maritime provinces already have deep, deep links and ties. Well, enough kidding around. But honestly, President Trump, get used to it. Canada is a sovereign nation full of, guess what, proud Canadians. We're not jingoistic. We don't boast a lot. That's one of the things we kind of have in common with Jimmy Carter. We're not a big nation for braggarts and bullies. We actually like to think we're of service in the world. We could do better, can always do better. But we love our country, and it's a country, it's a nation, and we do not aspire to be a 51st state. So let's not hear that anymore. If it was a joke, it was never funny, and it ends now. Thanks.
So you hear that, man? She just went in. She was talking to Trump. Pick up one of your kids' school books, you dumb son of a bitch. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but in her type of speech, right? Her get down. That's what she was saying in a clean, I guess, respectful way. You know what I mean? Tap in and let me know if you agree with that or not. But she was just saying, yeah, this ain't the US of A. You don't just get to pick your rich buddies and give them positions and stuff like that. Maybe you should learn about this parliamentary government or whatever. Again, all the political individuals out there join the debate, the discussion. Like, she just fully went off. She's like, we don't want to be the 51st state, but how about Bernie in Vermont, the great province of Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, California. She was talking about carbon trading and geographical stuff. Like, it just fits and makes sense, that these states should become Canadian provinces rather than the other way around, and that Trump doesn't know anything about Canada, basically, from her viewpoint, pretty much calling him an uneducated buffoon. Like, she just really went in. It was pretty wild, man, and that was all based off those Wayne Gretzky comments, I think. Man, she didn't like that. She's like, the great one. Yeah, he is the great one. The great Canadian sport of hockey. He follows the puck, but the puck ain't going to MAGA, Mr. Trump. Like, I was like, damn, man, she really is ready for war with Trump, and then now you add Mr. Charlie Angus, both these members of parliament. When I say war, obviously I'm using the word metaphorically, but Trump going to war with Canada, the Mexican cartels. What's next? What do you guys think about it all? Tap in, comment, man.